to the Tuesday, September 27th, 2022, Cupertino Planning Commission meeting. I would like the roll call, please.
Chair Sharp.
Here.
Vice Chair Maripatla.
Here.
Commissioner Kapil.
Yes.
Commissioner Saxena.
Commissioner Saxena.
Unmute.
Unmute.
Sorry about that. Yes.
Thank you. And Commissioner Wong.
Commissioner Wong is not here. Okay, so our first item of business is to approve the minutes from last meeting. If everyone could take a minute to look them over, there's a link to them in your agenda. So I'll give you 1 minute to look those over and see if there's anything needs to be modified. All right, I will make a motion to approve the minutes of September 13th. Is there a second?
No, I have a question. I raised my hand.
Go ahead. Oh, I'm on a different screen, so that's why I didn't see your hand raised. Okay, go ahead, Commissioner Maripatla.
So I have a question to City Attorney on item 5. This is modification to an existing use permit to allow above ground crypts. That motion died because there was no one to second it. So we assumed, it failed. I heard from some sources, the proper procedure is if the motion that was made, didn't go forward. I believe, there should be another motion that says, just in the opposite direction and, and then, vote on it. So is that the right approach?
There's nothing in the Brown Act that prescribes one way or the other, Commissioner. However, I agree with you that it is best practice for the commissions to make a decision on the motion, whether one way or the other. But I believe this item will be brought back to allow the commissions to do that.
Okay, so this item is likely to come back again to be able to do exactly that, right? So either we make the motion and vote it down, or we make an opposite motion and vote on it. Because this one died because there was no one to second it, right?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, and to be honest, maybe we should have been advised of that would have been the better thing to do. But anyway, that's hindsight. It'll come back and we can make our decision then. Other than that, were there any modifications to the minutes, or is there a second to approve them?
Chair,
I'll second it. Yeah, go ahead.
through the chair, if I may,
Yes.
sir, do we need to open the public hearing for this?
Well, that is true. I forgot. We normally, this is an agenda item, so people can comment on the minutes. Any attendees would like to raise their hand. I see R. Is this R. Wong here?
Yes, it is. I need to be promoted. If you can bring me in, that would be wonderful.
Okay. Let me see if I can't promote you to panelist because it's grayed out on my my thing. I can't. Someone else will have to promote you to panelist.
Ted, if you could.
Okay, I think it happened. I see an R there now. Okay, welcome, Ray. So, yeah, note that Commissioner Wong has joined the meeting, and we are about to try to get a second to approve the minutes. Was there a second? I don't remember.
I'll give you a second, please. I would second the motion.
So let us have a roll call vote on approval of the minutes. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. There is a hand raised here now. Lisa Warren would like to comment on the minutes. Welcome, Lisa.
Thanks. I had my hand raised, but then when you saw.
Yeah, it's my fault. Go ahead.
Okay, so I missed part of that discussion with Moody's question and then the response. So has the item 5 Gates of Heaven application been appealed? Are you going back to look at that? Is that how I understood you say that, Chair? If someone can clarify that, because
I don't think we know if it's been appealed yet. Maybe someone knows, but
I thought you said at the end that you would look at that again or something.
Yeah. I mean, if it's appealed, it will be looked at again.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Chair, sir, if I may.
Has it been appealed?
So there was no decision on the item, so there is no action that is appealable at this point. The item will be brought back to Planning Commission for their action, at which point there may or may not be an appeal after that decision.
So it comes back like it never happened. Okay.
Okay, so Michael, you saying that anytime there's no second on something that it will automatically come back to Planning Commission again?
No, I'm not saying that, Chair.
Okay.
I'm saying that in the future, I strongly encourage you and the commissioners to take action on whatever's before you, whether it's to approve or deny.
Okay.
So I think, in retrospect, we should have seconded it and voted on it, and it would have gone down, 5-0, voting.
Yes.
Since there was no one to second it, the motion died, and looks like, that's kind of considered incomplete.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, that was my intent.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So, Lisa, are you done, or would you like to continue?
No, I'm finished. Well, let me know, since I'm on here, just one little spiel here. I don't believe that the Blackberry Farm golf course is coming back to you guys, the decision on what's going to happen over there. But if it does, please
right.
be advised that the Joint Commission meeting has a lot of info that.
Okay, I think that's more appropriate for oral communications if you wish to speak.
Oh, you're right.
Okay.
Sorry. So I won't do that.
All right, thank you. So can we have the vote on the minutes now?
Chair Sharp,
Aye.
Vice Chair Matipatla,
Yes.
Commissioner Kapil,
Yes.
Commissioner Saxena,
Yes.
Commissioner Wong.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
Very good. We are on to, are there any postponements? I don't believe so.
No, sir. No.
Great, okay. We're on to oral communications. So this is the time reserved for persons wishing to address the commission on any item that is within our jurisdiction but is not on the agenda. You get 3 minutes each, and state law in most cases will prohibit us from making any decision with respect to the matter not on the agenda. So we will move to oral. And I see we have one hand raised so far. Welcome, Jennifer.
Thank you. Hi. It's always entertaining seeing you guys on Zoom. It's like the Brady Bunch, but I love it. Okay. You guys are great. Thank you so much. In a more somber note, our dear governor signed AB 2097 last Thursday. It was not unexpected that I think a lot of people thought he'd sign it, but I really was hoping he wouldn't. This is a 2-year bill by Assemblymember Laura Friedman out of Glendale. I think it's near Los Angeles. It had a bunch of other authors. I think YIMBY was one of the co-sponsors of it or one of their affiliates. And, this is another one where we're doing micromanaging at a very, very, very local level. And I guess we've got people in Southern California that are deciding how many parking spaces we're supposed to have here and in every other city in the state. And I'm really getting tired. Who are these people? All of these bills have insulting by right ministerial streamlined references. I'm talking about SB 35, SB 330, 9 and 10. It's like who do they think they're hiding these things from? I mean, is this a democracy? Are we doing Putin knows best, where we annex sections of this city or whatever? I really question the governor's judgment. I think he's just signing stuff that people put in front of him, because we never, I don't know, we have an educated public and who either rent or own property, and they're being circumvented by some group that seems to think that they're running California. And I don't think the governor's running it. I think this group's running it. This bill is very, very selfish. I think Laura Friedman, if I was an elected person, I would never, ever agree to have a bill with my name on it that had ministerial by right and streamlined. That is an insult to the public. And I really think that her constituents should really get on her case for it. In this case, we also have HCD going after the city of San Francisco for, hey, what do you think? Not producing enough housing. Geez, I mean, this has been going on for 4 years. I think even Putin's aware that San Francisco is not producing enough housing in the eyes of these people that are controlling the state and telling Gavin what to do. So I'm really concerned that HCD wants to get rid of the San Francisco Board of Supervisors. They really have it out for them. And this is really dangerous, because why is HCD getting involved in political battles in each city? It looks bad for San Francisco because Gavin came from there, but HCD really is stepping out of their bounds. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. That was exactly 3 minutes. Don't see anyone else with a hand raised? Last chance for oral communications. Okay, moving on. Were there any written communications sent in? Other than for oral, not for the agenda item, other agenda items?
Not to my knowledge,
Okay,
sir.
thank you. There's no consent calendar, so we are on to item 2, the public hearing. This is a hillside exception request to consider the removal and replacement of an existing 2,660 square foot exterior deck and proposed expansion of 860 square feet, resulting in a 3,250 square foot exterior deck on slopes greater than 30% of an existing hillside residence. Application number EXC-2022-001. The applicant Rajendra Shah. The location is 22332 Regnart Road, assessor parcel number 366-39005. And so the recommended action is that we adopt the proposal draft resolution, find the project exempt from CEQA, and approve the hillside exception. Can we have the staff report, please?
Thank you. Good evening, Planning Commission. I would like to introduce Brianne Herkusha, Associate Planner, who will be making the presentation for us tonight on this item.
Good evening, members of the Commission. Just sharing my screen. As the Chair mentioned, the project before you this evening is a hillside exception application request. This is a slide showing the project location. The project site is in a residential hillside zoning district and surrounded by unincorporated county to the north, hillside homes in Cupertino to the south and east, and the Coyote Ridge Trail and the Fremont Older open space to the west. The property contains a single family home and is accessed by a private driveway. The application request is for a hillside exception to remove and replace an existing 2,660 square foot exterior deck, as shown on the left-hand side of the left figure, and expand the deck by 860 square feet, resulting in a 3,250 square foot deck. And the expansion and the existing deck would be on slopes greater than 30% of an existing hillside residence. As shown in the slide, the dark gray portions indicate the proposed work in the areas where slopes are greater than 30%. The proposed deck eliminates the need for grading, as it's adjacent to the house, existing deck and pool, and is elevated above the slope. There are no trees proposed for removal. The proposed deck complies with all other aspects of the RHS zone's site development regulations, except for the proposed development occurring on slopes greater than 30%. The proposed deck is located as far as possible from the open space reserve at the rear of the property and would not create negative environmental impacts. And the property is also not located near or on a prominent ridgeline. As shown in this slide, there are designated vantage points within Cupertino per the general plan to preserve views from the foothills. The applicant prepared a visibility analysis from the 6 vantage points, and these photos are included as attachment 3 of the staff report. From those photos, it's been shown that the project site is substantially screened behind a hill and trees, which preserves the view of the hillsides. The deck is proposed to be developed with neutral tones that blend with the natural hillside environment and is designed to reduce the effective visible mass to surrounding neighbors as much as possible. As shown here, there are light fixtures that are proposed that are shielded and downward facing to comply with the dark sky ordinance. The property is in a hillside and slope instability geologic hazard zone. The city's geotechnical consultant has peer reviewed the applicant's geotechnical reports and has concluded that the project is feasible from a geologic standpoint. Findings and recommendations from that report have been added as conditions to this project. The project is found to be categorically exempt from the requirements of CEQA, as it does involve new construction of small facilities or structures. Prior to this meeting, notices were mailed to property owners within 300 feet of the project site. A site sign was posted and a legal ad in the paper. Staff received 1 public comment after preparation of the staff report, and this was included as supplemental information to the commission. The commenter expressed concerns about the size of the deck, the potential impacts of the deck on the environment, and other relations to views or visibility issues. Staff finds that the proposed project complies with the development regulations of the Hillside Zoning District and has made findings to support the deck removal, replacement, and expansion for the hillside exception. Therefore, we recommend that the Planning Commission adopt the draft resolution to find that the proposed actions are exempt from CEQA and approve the hillside exception. And also please note that there is written communication for this project that was provided by email to the commission before the meeting. This concludes staff's presentation, and we're available to answer any questions. We also have the applicant who is prepared to make a short presentation as well.
So are you referring to the email from Ellen Lee as the written comment?
No, it was...
Or is there something else that I'm...
It was sent by Syra.
Oh, yeah, that's the
written
one.
communication.
Yeah, right, it's from Syra. Yeah, it was sent by Syra, but it's the sender was Ellen Lee. Okay.
Sir, if I may, there was also subsequent email from Syra right before this meeting, about 15 minutes or 20 minutes before this meeting, that included additional information, including a approval from what was discovered to be a homeowners association on the property.
Okay, I thought that was the one I had seen a few minutes. Okay. So what? Oh, it's 6:28. Okay, yeah. Now I see that one. Well, if the commissioners could take a minute to look at that email from Syra, if they have not already done so. I want to look at it real quick here. Okay, this was the one from the architectural board. Okay. All right. So before we go to public comment, the applicant, yeah, you can go ahead and present for 3 minutes.
Is that for me, the homeowner?
Yeah, you're the applicant, right, Raj?
Yes. Okay, I have a short presentation, short deck. Okay.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
Tell me when you can see it.
Yeah, we see it.
All right. So, To be honest, okay, so very quickly with us is Akit Kisha, architect, Arun Shah, engineer. My wife has also joined, Pallavi Shah. Carol McNeil, who is the president of the Homeowners Association, also is on the call, and another board member who is also an immediate neighbor who has the direct view of our deck is on the call. Okay. You know, it actually doesn't give us much joy to do this big project. It's, you know, you all probably have gone through this. It's pain to have this reconstruction, but we don't see a choice. I mean, look at how the piers have moved, shifted, and really ended. You know, the deck is essentially falling apart in parts, and we actually stopped using some part of the deck. Okay, so there's just more pictures of how, you know, and it's so this is the part where we are really replacing, not expanding. The deck around the pool side is still usable. It isn't moving as much, but it's all going to happen because the piers that the previous owner used to build the deck were not deep enough. Okay. Our expansion is really, you can see the narrow side on the other side of the pool. We feel like we can't put any furniture there. It becomes unsafe to walk around. We have now grandchildren. We have a large, an extended family, and we like kids to be, family to be around, which is why we want to extend this part and also this part. Okay. And I don't think I need to do this because Brianna presented this pretty well. And we have a few pictures from what it looks like today. It's mostly hidden through trees, and you know, and you can see some of the so that the pillars of the new deck will look kind of similar, so the view isn't going to change very much. Okay, that's it. Hope that was less than 3 minutes.
Okay, that was wonderful. Thank you. Okay, so before we bring it back to the commissioners, well, yeah, Ray, if you have a brief question before we go to public comment, go ahead, unmute.
Yeah, I do. I just wanted to ask staff what the 30%, why do we actually have that rule for 30% slope as one of the reasons that requires an exemption, just so that we can remind the public what that is about. And of course, you know, always educate us commissioners. So please go ahead. Question to staff.
I can do that, sir. So the whole purpose of development on slopes greater than 30% is to make sure that the city has the ability to review and approve, make sure that the design of the project is done appropriately. It's engineered right. There is public notice in the event that there's a chance that that kind of development might impact neighbors or such, have environmental impacts. So that is the reason why we have that particular provision, so that there's more review by the city.
Got it. And based on the comprehensive analysis by staff and the presentation, there doesn't just seem to be any other health danger, environmental issues, or anything that could endanger the owner.
Correct. At this point, based on what we've seen and what has been peer reviewed by our consultants and the particular design that's been proposed, we don't see that.
Thank you. Short question. Back to you, Chair.
Okay. The existing deck, was that permitted, or was that put in before the process was in place? So our understanding is that the existing deck was potentially put in with the existing house, and that was back in the early 80s. Okay. And so it's our hillside rules have been in place since 1993. They were codified in 1993, and so late 92, 93. So we're just following what our current regulations are. Right. So I'm just wondering if they removed, even if they removed and replaced the deck at the same size, they would still be here today. It's not just the expansion of the size. Potentially, yes. Okay. Okay. Vice Chair Matipatla, before we go to public, do you have a quick question?
Yeah, so I have a couple of questions to know. Brian, how do you say your first name, Brian?
Harkusha.
Brianne Harkusha.
Brianne Harkusha.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. So a couple of questions. So you said additional 800 square feet, but when I looked at the summary, it was less than, it's roughly 590 square feet addition compared to the existing deck. Could you clarify that?
Sorry, let me double check. What summary were you referencing?
So the attached documents that we got, right? So let me look at that. So it showed the increment is roughly I'm just trying to pull up. I have too many screens. Okay, so draft resolution. So one of the documents had a table up front, staff report, right? So in the staff report, it says existing is 2,660 square feet, and then proposed is 3,250, right? So that's about less than 600 square feet addition, isn't it?
I think I found a typo. I think there are 2 digits that are transposed. If you look at the project plans, it's 3,520, not 3,250.
Okay. So 2 and 5 got swapped.
Yes, so apologies for that.
Okay. So that means, it's roughly close to, 890 or some change. Okay.
Right.
Okay, I got it. Thank you. Thanks for that clarification.
We're in a room full of engineers.
Exactly.
Okay, that's one. And regarding the comments, public comments, so the one that Syra sent, it had 2 attachments, but both of them from the same person. Is that correct?
That's right.
Okay. And then the homeowners association there is in supportive of this project, if I understood it correctly.
Correct. That was the email that Syra sent at 6:20.
Yeah, I saw that too. And then Brian mentioned, some other public comment. Is it the same as the one that we got in the email attachment, or is there some other comment from someone?
No, there was an email from a resident that came 11 a.m. from Syra.
Yeah, the reference that I made at the end of the presentation was for the HOA letter that you received
Right.
before the meeting, and then there was another reference about public comment, and
Right.
that was the one from Ellen Lee.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to understand total of how many public comments we have on this project. Is it 2 or 3?
It's one.
One. So
One.
the Ellen Lee one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the another one is, from the homeowners association says supporting it, they support this design.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, I got it. Thank you.
Okay. All right. I'm going to public comment now. Please raise your hand. Jennifer, you are the first and okay, there's 2 now. Go ahead, Jennifer.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Brianne, for your nice presentation. This is an interesting construction. I have great sympathies for the owner. My mother rented a house with a gigantic deck that was above Santa's Village in Scotts Valley in the 80s and 90s, and it's beautiful view. But if this deck was constructed prior to the 1989 Loma Prieta earthquake, then I believe that you said that the house was probably just brand new at that time. It looks like there may have been walking of the foundations, which did happen in a lot of places, especially after the earthquake. I don't want to scare the owner, but we all know this happens. But the deck is going to have to be made safe and secure anyway. And I think in this situation that, obviously this is going to be a great, when he's trying to, or his family is trying to sink new piers in there, this is going to be a lot of work. And obviously it's going to require a great deal of research to make sure that this deck and the house stay stable if we have more earthquakes, which we probably will. But then again, anything else that's going on around here. My one question is, and I wish them great success with this because it's a miracle to keep things kept up in the air up there. So good luck with it. But my question is was the swimming pool put in at the same time that the house was constructed? And has anybody looked at the weight of the water that is suspended up at that level? Is that something that could potentially, if you did get movement rolling during the earthquakes? I was actually next to a fountain of water when 1989 earthquake hit, and there was water movement. The Dianza swimming pool actually splashed out and threw water all over the side. So if that pool is hit by movement, will the water potentially, could it slap out of and cause more potential shifting of the deck? That is, to have that much water suspended that high is a great deal of load. you guys might want to look at whether that the bottom of the pool suspended at that level should be reinforced. I've probably been looking at we have relatives in Tampa that have evacuated from the earthquake. So I've been looking at a lot of this. We thank God we only have earthquakes, but that's a lot of water to have up that high. And you might want to look at how the weight of the water is affecting, but those piers look like they need to be replaced. That thing has walked and you probably need to make it safe. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Should I be responding to this? I don't know.
Yeah, just briefly.
You know, the pool is not suspended. The pool is dug inside the ground. The deck is independent of the pool, essentially. It's around the pool. And I have the structural engineer, Arun, on the call if he wants to comment. But I mean,
I don't think that's necessary for him to comment since the pool.
But Jennifer, thank you very much. No, I appreciate your concern. And look, we really don't want to do this project, but we have to. The water splashing probably would just roll off the hill, okay. And this is a non-engineer's viewpoint. And there's a lot of hillside, a lot of room for rainwater and this kind of water to go.
Okay.
There's no other house. If there's plenty of water going, there's no other house impacted by this.
Okay. Lisa, go ahead.
Okay, this will be quick. It's just a general comment. That I'm grateful that this is being brought to the Planning Commission. I kind of want some clarification, but maybe not here. Because oftentimes things that I believe should be brought forward to, say, design review committee or something else are considered minor modifications, and I often question the minor modification. This definitely is not. I just have been wanting to say that for a long time, and this has nothing to do with the applicant. I just wanted to say that publicly. That's it. Good luck.
Okay, thank you, Lisa. So let's bring it back to Planning Commission. Would anyone like to go first? Mooney, you have your hand raised. Go ahead.
So I have a question to the applicant, right? So I hear him say that, the new deck, I mean, of course, this needs to be replaced because, it's dangerous from the pictures that he has shown. So if he's doing it, he's looking to, make it a little bit usable, expanding it by, 800 square feet and all that. I understand that. So is it changing the visibility and the look and feel any way, shape or form, from anywhere, like, from your neighbors or, the people that are walking on that trail? Is that changing anything, for them?
So actually, it's not visible from the trail at all.
That's what I thought, but I just want to make sure. Yeah.
And for the neighbors, I think, look, the piers, it's essentially the same number of piers that are posts supporting the deck. It just be a little bit out of because of the expansion, and the part there's not expansion it's essentially the same number of posts.
Okay.
And I think Maria, who is the neighbor, who actually is the director of the neighbor, if you want her view, her comment, we can ask her to speak.
So no, I'm just trying to understand, the one neighbor that's, objecting to, what's the basis for that objection, and read through the comments is like, the comment is about, nature should say nature, blah, blah, blah. But that, we can make that kind of comment against, any project, right? So, yes. But then is there truly a problem that, that the person is objecting to? I'm trying to understand that. Right?
Moni, I think you got it right. Look, you can make this kind of an objection to anything. And look, we love nature. You can see my background picture. I try to compete with all of you on the background picture. That's Mount Everest from my own camera. We go hiking every day. We are blessed to be right next to the preserve. I'll give you an example. When we moved into this house, the gardener came. Hey, there's a big snake here. What shall I do? It was a 9-footer, and we didn't know anything. And he said, "Shall I kill the snake?" And I took some pictures and did some research, and it was not it was a California garden snake. I said, "Look, we are in their country. Don't kill them. Let them live." So listen, we are absolutely in favor of nature. Okay, so we're not trying to build a big structure. It is essentially very simple deck. Okay, and just expanding around the pool side.
Yeah, no, thanks for the clarification, because I'm generally sensitive to, public comments, because I want to understand the basis. So, but other than reading out that nature should stay nature, I didn't find anything substantive. So I just wanted to see. Okay, thank you.
Okay, go ahead, Commissioner Wong.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that, everything here conforms to standards. I think the staff has done a good job with the presentation and research. I think the supporting materials from the architect actually, showed exactly what the scenario was. And actually the deck as it is looks dangerous to me and probably should get replaced. So I think in my mind, I'm fully supportive of this. I think the staff did a good job. I think, it's good to train, good to see new planners come through as well. So good job on the training and getting people onto projects. I think that's very good. So I'm in support of this project unless there's a public health reason or a safety reason or environmental reason that we don't know about. And, especially for our residents who've worked very, very hard to be able to, save up, build, and, make a living and make a family in this city. I think it's really important to help them get their projects through. So I'm supportive of this project. Back to you, Chair.
Okay, Commissioner Saxena, go ahead.
First of all, I'm wondering where Commissioner Wong is sitting because are you in Hawaii? Like the sun on your face looks like you're somewhere sunny right now. Okay. So after that, I think, I will sort of echo a lot of this thing said. One thing I'm a bit concerned, Raj, is that the piers, they look almost like they're about to fall. And in general, does the city provide any support if a homeowner wants somebody to come and check about safety about something? And this is more a question for the city staff. Like you bought a home, you see something, and it's a construction which is like decks are not normal. Like normally, since they're not typically a part of the main house, they're attached and so on. Does the city provide any resources where some homeowner can call and just get like something from the city which says, please, this looks investigation, please call a structural engineer or something like that? And this is for Pew or anybody else. Do we have any service like that?
The short answer is no, sir.
Okay. Yeah, because, I feel it would have been a much more risky thing if, to have this thing going. And also, I really appreciate the pictures shown and everything. There's nothing which is dramatically changing. So I'm supportive of this, and also I'll appreciate the fact that these are being thoroughly researched and presented in a manner which is supportive of what the residents want. And we're here to make sure that the city grows in the plan and grows in a planned manner while taking care of any exceptions which make sense, like this one. Thank you.
Vikram, thank you very much. When we bought the house 11 years ago, we had a property inspection done, and this piers were not as bad. They were, and Arun Shah, who is the structural engineer, he did tell us that over time we'll have to replace this. Okay.
Okay.
And the part of the deck where it is bad, we have stopped using it. Okay. So, but fortunately, the part by the pool side is still usable, but also that's starting to sag. Okay.
Okay.
So Pew, when this construction is done, are there building inspections, or is this because it's not part of the main house, it's just left to the homeowner?
No, absolutely. Any structure that is constructed, as long as it's over 120 square feet, is inspected thoroughly by the city.
Okay, so including ensuring that the new piers are sufficient concrete and sunk down far enough, all that.
So all of that review will occur before a building permit is issued, and then inspections are conducted to make sure that the building or the structure is built to the plan.
All right, very good. Okay, Commissioner Kapil, go ahead. Unmute. Okay, good.
Yeah, just a question. The pillars will be replaced for the extended deck. Since its CEQA is not applicable to this project, so when you install the new pillars, how do you ensure the soil or the mudslide or whatever the ground condition is that is impacted by the construction or the installation of the new pillars? Is there some kind of a city does that, some kind of structural sanctity of the new pillar installations, or how do you ensure that the structure will, new construction will not, in the rain or storm or whatever, will cause a lot of mud to slide down and cause damage to the deck or whatever the construction it is? How does that get ensured?
So that occurs as part of the building permit review process as well, to make sure that there are best practices that are involved in the construction. There's also geotechnical review in the soils report that is prepared to make sure that the construction practices used are appropriate for the kind of soil and the kind of terrain that is involved in the construction.
I see Arun Shah, our structural engineer, has raised his hand.
Go ahead. You can unmute yourself and you can speak, Arun.
Thank you.
Yeah, we can.
Yes, we have a soils engineer on the team, and he has determined the depth of pier that needs. We need to go, how deep we need to go through into the soil, and that's how we engineer the pier itself. And the soils engineer will be on site when the drilling operations are going on to see whether the depth, they need to increase the depth or how far they go according to his recommendations.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mooney, did you have a question?
It's not a question, it's more like, a comment on the project. So I pretty much, echo Ray's comment and, Vikram's comment, and I appreciate, the applicant working with our city staff to do the right thing in terms of, designing and, and making sure that it's done right. At the end of the day, we are here to serve the community as a commission. So long as, the projects come in front of us, that meet the standards and follow the rules, we are all very supportive of that. It doesn't matter whether it's a big developer or a resident in the community, we want to treat them, equally. Rules are there to be applied, and I really appreciate, all the rules being followed on this project. Thank you.
Great. So for the current deck, are the piers, are they sinking into the soil and the deck is tilting now, or are they just, from the picture, I couldn't really see what the issue was.
The pillars are tilting. So in some parts it's worse than other parts. And that part, the deck is also sagging as a result. And then the fear is that it may be actually pulling against the house as well. So if you want, I can show you the pictures again.
No, that's fine. I'm just thinking back to when I had a deck issue at a property I own, and it didn't use enough concrete, so the whole deck was kind of tilting and sinking. They had to come out, replace 12 decks. So just, hopefully, I'm sure your structural engineer will ensure that it's sufficient quantity of concrete so nothing sinks down into the ground, because it's very expensive to jack it up and try to fix that.
No, I think we just have to put new piers. We can't do anything with the existing decks.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, I don't see any other hands raised, so we can go ahead and entertain a motion if somebody would like to do that.
Me to make a motion to approve the project as staff has recommended.
I second that.
I second it, but also I would modify it to find the project exempt from CEQA and approve the hillside exception.
And approve the hillside exemption.
Okay.
Was that a substitute motion, Chair?
Yeah, I think because we really needed to say that we find it exempt from CEQA and approve the hillside exception. So yeah, that's my substitute motion. Is there a second?
Second that.
Okay,
second
great.
That.
Wonderful. Let us have a vote then.
Chair Sharp,
Aye.
Vice Chair Maripatla,
Yes.
Commissioner Kapil,
Yes.
Commissioner Saxena,
Yes.
Commissioner Wong.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Wonderful. Okay, let's go on to, there's no old business, so new business.
Can I give me just 1 minute?
Who is that?
This is Raj, the applicant. So
be brief, please.
Yeah, very brief. Pallavi, if you can come on the line, we just want to thank you. Pallavi actually has been part of the Cupertino School. She has been teaching she taught for about a decade, and she she led math count. She took several math counts team to the state and the national level. So we'd love to be part of Cupertino. So that's all. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for your service, and and congratulations, and good luck with the project.
Yeah, good luck with the project. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, let's move on. The next item is cancellation of the November 8th Planning Commission regular meeting and proposal of a Planning Commission special meeting date. I think November 8th is the election day, I believe. So that's why it was proposed to be canceled. So special meeting date, is that, is there an agenda for that, or why we actually need it, or can we just cancel that and,
So it is my understanding, sir, that there might be a request to have a hearing on that week by an applicant. And of course, if for some reason the project doesn't move forward, we would probably cancel the meeting. But we wanted to make sure to offer the commission the choice of date for that week. Again, the election is November 8th. And
okay, so what are the choices of dates then? Wednesday or Thursday?
Thursday would be preferred.
Okay, does anyone object Thursday, November 10th? Okay, so if we need a special meeting, I guess it can be on December 10th. And I'll make a motion.
November 10th.
November 10th?
November 10th, sorry. I'll make a motion that the Planning Commission cancel the November 8th regular meeting due to elections and confirm a quorum for a special meeting on November 10th. Is there a second?
I second it.
Okay, let's have a vote.
Chair Sharp,
Aye.
Vice Chair Matipatla,
Yes.
Commissioner Kapil,
Yes.
Commissioner Saxena,
Yes.
and Commissioner Wong.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
Okay, we are on to staff and commission reports. Does anyone from staff have any reports?
I just wanted to remind the commission about the International League of Cities, the ILG conference on October 7th, which is being hosted by Cupertino. I believe it's an all-day event. Please feel free to sign up. I had shared some information about that with the commission in the past. That is the only report that I have at this point.
Okay, very good. How about commissioners? Have you had any meetings with anyone that you wish to talk about? Anyone? Okay. Well, I will go then. So yesterday I had 2 meetings with a company. I met with their registered lobbyist. One of them was regarding something that will come to us for the removal and replacement of an office building on Doco Parkway and Tantau Avenue. So that should be coming up in the next couple of months. And then I also met with a property owner, one of the Valco property owners, not the SB 35 owner, regarding parcel that they own and the possibility of housing being constructed on that parcel, mainly affordable housing. And the site is in our site selection for our housing element. So I was pleased to see that it appears to be moving forward now. All of these things take a long time, but it seems like it's going to be good news and there's going to be progress made on that issue. And
So,
that's all.
Did he say a registered lobbyist?
Right, yes.
Okay. So that means, our ordinance is working.
Yes.
Okay.
I have, yeah, actually I've met with a couple of registered lobbyists in the past couple of months, and yeah, I appreciate it. It's not something that's unique to Cupertino. Almost every city, the county, the state, the federal government have these ordinances, and people willingly comply with them. And that was like the first question I asked when they requested me to meet, or have you registered? And of course they had.
And,
So
and
thank
do you ask for some kind of a registration number or a badge, or what is it?
I did not ask for that. No.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Chair, I was going to say I also met with the same lobbyist regarding the same property that you're talking about. That's something that's coming down in the future, and that's the other meeting I have. So.
Great.
Yeah, I also got a phone call and I discussed it with him on the phone. He wanted to have a Zoom meeting. I wasn't clear about the rules, so I refused. It's the same property, same person whom you're talking about.
Right. I mean, it's and the city attorney can correct me if I'm wrong. It can meet with, up to 2 of us at a time. That's not a quorum. Is that accurate, Michael?
Yeah, that's accurate, and it's appropriate. It's okay to meet, but just be careful that you're not making any decisions for an item that's not
right. Of course not.
You.
And they've actually, the one I met with yesterday actually said, reminded me. I know you can't express an opinion or make any decisions. He just wanted to show us what they were hoping to do, which is fine. Okay.
Sure. Can I make one more quick comment? It's just a procedural comment.
Yeah.
Traditionally, when we do voting, it is the most junior member goes first, and then the vice chair goes second to last, and the chair goes last. Have you changed that, or is that how you like it, or do you want to?
No,
okay.
I noticed that too. I was kind of surprised to be called on first. I don't know, Attorney Wu, is there any protocol for this? I kind of like being called on last, but it was not really a big deal.
You can set the protocol.
I thought it was chair's discretion.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Thank you, Commissioner Wong. I think, yes, in the future, I think we should go the vice chair second to last, the chair last, and then first 3 in the order of seniority from least seniority to most seniority.
How is that significant?
It's not that significant, but I think that was a good tradition.
Yeah, my team is waiting for a team dinner, so maybe we can talk this after.
Chair,
okay.
If I may, I have one more announcement to make.
Okay.
We have a request from Public Works to make a couple of announcements and the commission to be aware of a couple of things. There are a few upcoming events for the Revitalized Memorial Park project, and that we wanted the community to be aware of. There's an online survey to get community feedback on what they'd like to see at a revitalized memorial park. The survey is on engagecupertino.org, and it will be active until October 9th. In addition to that, I believe the design team for the Revitalized Memorial Park project will be at a pop-up event at the Diwali event on October 8th. So we just wanted the community to be aware.
All right, very good. Thank you. We are on to future agenda setting. So commissioners, but I know there's been several agenda items that have been proposed, and I'm not sure what the issue is here. Is this an issue of staff time that we are not, getting these on the agenda, or what? Like the 5G ordinance has been, or the 5G and the cell towers. What is the situation with that? Do we have to explicitly schedule it, or how does this work?
I see the city attorney has unmuted himself. I'll let him speak to it.
All right, go ahead, Michael.
Yeah, sure. That's a good question. And so, according to the commissioner's handbook, you coordinate with the liaison, which we do prior to these planning commission meetings, and discuss when's the appropriate time to schedule matters. I think the last time we had a meeting like that was a couple of months ago, and so this is a good reminder to aggregate all of the most recent requests, and then put together a discussion point for us and the planning manager to discuss agenda items in the future.
And just as a matter of, as you mentioned, Chair, we are down to about 30% of our staffing at this point. In terms of new agenda items, I just wanted to, we're basically just struggling to stay afloat with the permits that are coming in at this point. So
Right.
we are
And
trying to ramp up on staffing and et cetera.
And are you still, the housing element, is that mainly being done by the consultant, or is that taking a lot of planning staff time as well?
It does take planning staff time as well, in addition to additional, we just have a ton of current planning projects, which is building permits, and planning permits. So just the run of the mill stuff that we just have to keep working on that are subject to state law, deadlines and timelines, et cetera.
Okay, well, hopefully, hopefully your staffing can ramp up soon so we can get to some of these other items.
We're hopeful too.
Yeah. Okay, is there anything else from any commission members? Anyone else have their hand raised? If not, also the public is allowed to comment on this item if anybody would like to. Jennifer, go ahead.
I be the public. I appreciate, I understand that housing element is taking a lot of time. There's a lot of things going on. We are going to have the meeting Wednesday night about SB 9, SB 10. And I would like to have, I think that having some type of a study session or meeting about the by right, the terms by right, ministerial, and streamlined. This didn't come up until about a week or two ago, but I have very strong feelings about these terms, and I don't think that the public fully understands what they are. I don't think the city has been told what they are. They just appear in the text of the bills, and they're in every single high density housing bill, et cetera, that have been rolled out in the last 3 to 4 years. Nobody knows where they came from. And it's like, why are they put in there? What does it mean? So I think that we're having the meetings on SB 9, SB 10 to try to flesh out exactly. I mean, the governor signs these things and then we have to interpret them. So it's one of these things. So I'm glad that we're having the meeting on Wednesday to try to flesh out what these terms are so that we can try to prepare and understand what they are. I mean, Gavin is really getting to the point where he's just throwing stuff out to the public that we have to try to trudge through. We have to try to crawl our way through. And I think that these terms, I don't know if the governor came up with them or if somebody from YIMBY came up with them or some other hired gun came up with them, but I would really like to know, and what are the expectations? How is the public supposed to interpret these? I have never in my life had terms like this put into California statewide law where we don't know what it means. And I won't even go there with what these people are trying to do, but I would like to know what they mean. I don't think they mean anything. I think they're just trying to take advantage of the public. Anyway, thank you. If you guys could have any type of outreach or listening session or discussion of what these are, it would be greatly appreciated. I don't understand them and I don't know. I feel like Putin's running the state. So anyway, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jennifer. Lisa, go ahead. Lisa, you there?
Yeah. The unmute flashed away.
Okay.
And then came back. So this is just a reminder of some of the things in the past that I have hoped would get on agendas, and that would be talking, redoing basically privacy screening, balconies, and then there's been other things along the way, but those are the two that I've been the most frustrated about taking so long. And then additionally, last meeting I asked for, and it was in your minutes, so that should be fresh in your heads, for some discussion about how to tighten up ADU stuff, if it can be done around the state laws, just with ordinances. Because honestly, ADUs, that's exactly what most of them are right now. They're accessories to the main house. They're not secondary. We need SDUs. We don't need accessories. So that's it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Lisa. And I do think that between the something about the balcony situation would benefit all of us in the long term. We'd have fewer meetings where we have to approve balconies on an individual basis. So that is definitely something worth looking into. Okay, I don't see any other hands raised. So seeing no one else, I think it is time for adjournment. So I will adjourn. Oh, wait, Ray.
No, bye.
Oh, you're waving goodbye. Okay, you're not. All right. Thank you, everyone, and good night.
Thank you.